Now let's talk about your beautiful book that is going to be released in October,
October 14th, that's right.
October 14th. So can you talk to me a little bit about exceptional experiences and what that book will teach people?
I can. Often with experiences, we hear all of these terms, right? Surprise and delight. And that all sounds great. But how? And so what the book has been designed to do is give you a process to be able to capture the attention of clients you want to work with, or maybe even existing clients you have, and walk them through what we call the 5 luxury levers. It's a process so that you can also convert them to be advocates for your business. So think about this book as the how-to of how to drive revenue, how to differentiate yourself, but ultimately how to create those exceptional experiences so your clients end up referring you and helping you grow your business. It's designed for leaders who are responsible for driving revenue in their business, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a Fortune 50 CEO. And because I've had the privilege of working across so many of those brands, there's a variety of examples in the book. It's a framework, and I believe in very practical how-to advice, which we talked about when we were recording. I believe that the book is filled with strategies and stories that will inspire you to think, how do I apply that to my own business? Now, there is a stealth message in the book. Ultimately, Jet, I just want everyone to feel seen and heard and valued. And one industry that does that well is luxury. And so I've taken all the best lessons of all the luxury brands that I've had the privilege of working with. I've combined it with my proprietary luxury research study, and I've popped that in a book. So it's a scalable message. And so for any experts out there who maybe want to write a book is one of the easiest ways for people to have a taste of your expertise, but then to be able to share it with others. And that's what I hope your listeners are able to do with this book as well.
Fantastic. So you talk about the 5 levers to elevate every aspect of your business.
Correct.
Can we give a quick synopsis of each of those levers?
Oh,
so kind of like a taste for that. So
think about a triangle model, right? And what I'm ultimately wanting people to do is to capture mindshare. That's at the bottom. That's the foundation. How do you be able to capture the mindshare of people, stay top of mind for people? And then the pinnacle of the triangle is market share. How do you drive revenue? So that's what the model is based on. But the first thing we need to do is entice people to work with you. And to entice people to work with you, we want to captivate their attention. And they're probably asking themselves, why should I pay attention to you and your brand? So that's the first lever. There's some examples there in storytelling and helping people belong. And then we go to invite. This is where you invite them to be part of your brand and the experience that you offer. And there's some really fun strategies to do that. And then as we move up the luxury levers, what happens is then we start to excite people about working with us as we demonstrate our expertise. And then they start to wonder, what else can they do? And then we move to delight. Delight is exactly as it sounds. This is engaging the 5 senses. This is being able to create really fabulous collaborations, having those multi-sensory experiences. There's so many strategies in the book for that. And then we get to the pinnacle, and that is ignite. Now, which is very on brand for you with everything that you do. And ignite is about being able to have these people be your advocates for your business, for your expertise. And so there's very specific strategies in each of those 5 luxury levers to help you apply to your business.
This is fantastic. There are some really great strategies that you've shared in the book, and I cannot wait for us to maybe share one of them I have in particular mind. But what are some of the things that people can do like today to make sure that when the client comes to their businesses that they have an exceptional experience?
You know, there's one that's always overlooked. In the early 1900s, there was a book written by a fabulous gentleman by the name of Dale Carnegie. He wrote a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? It's an oldie but a goodie, and I think it needs to be compulsory reading for every person in sales. But he said this. He said, a person's name is the sweetest sound. Luxury brands know how to personalize. And we don't use our clients' names enough, our patients' names, our guests' names, our students' names. And yet people tune into their name, and it's a no-cost attention-grabbing strategy. So when you look at your digital communications, your in-person communications, to make people feel seen, how about using their name? It costs you nothing. You might have to update your process to do it, but the simplicity of using someone's name, every one of us can do that. When you are being served by a barista, use their name. When you hand your keys to a valet, use their name. Like whenever someone enters your business, use their name when you know it. And people love coming back to you because they feel seen. That doesn't cost you anything. But I think when it comes to exceptional, it's absolutely about personalization and customization. Because in our world, people have become cautious because of AI. They don't know whether it's like a human that's sending them the email. They don't know whether you have written that using AI. And great for efficiency, not anti-AI. I'm a big believer in it. I do believe, though, we need to customize more. So if you think about it, it's actually easier to upsell an existing client than it is to get a new client. I think we spend a lot of money trying to get new business, and then we assume they're going to stay with us. And we forget to pay attention to them. We're all out there chasing the new business. What about taking care of the existing clients who've already invested with you and have already shown you their support and loyalty? So what I'd love our viewers to think about is, what could you do to acknowledge the people who are already in business with you and make them feel special, because they will tell others about that too.